Good morning. If you're anything like me and you struggle with mental illness and you're facing circumstances in your life where you're experiencing extreme amounts of stress, as is usually the case for the majority of the population, right? Then maybe I have had a few experiences this week that could help you out. And if not, at least I can um, go ahead and fulfill my need to be able to use my creativity for a healthy outlet, and which was part of the reason for me creating this channel, as a means to share some of my insights and some of my creativity in regards to mental illness and dealing with these things in a healthy manner. Um, this week has been a challenge, but I'm super excited. So Monday, I got let out of Vantage Point and for inpatient therapy and inpatient treatment, and I received some new medication that's helping me manage my depression. And I am still experiencing a lot of mood swings, but that's just par for the course because I have bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder. And this week, I recently was officially diagnosed with complex PTSD. So, most of my week has been about managing those symptoms and coping with my emotions and making videos to have something to look forward to do and feel like I have a sense of purpose in this life while I struggle to not stress out about the future. And that's extremely hard for me to do. So I am continuously keeping negative thoughts at bay and my fear over what is yet to come and all the things that I need to do. Um, so on Wednesday, no, Thursday, after I was released, I started my outpatient therapy. And throughout the week, I have worked, and in between working and doing a few of the things that I enjoy on the side, painting and exercising. I've recently found that I love to dance as a form of exercise. I have managed to keep my mood elevated by doing those things because at my job I get to help people and I really love doing that. And exercise always makes you feel better if it's a form of exercise that you enjoy. So I encourage people to experiment with that because it may not be exactly what you picture in your brain. You know, a lot of people just picture sweating in a gym, and that's not what it has to be. So, those are a few of the ways that I cope, and the day to day ways that I cope with my anxiety are breathing. I've been focusing a lot on my breathing whenever I am experiencing those fight or flight symptoms of anxiety, because it seems like even whenever I'm happy, my heart is pounding in my ears. I'm aware of the blood pulsing through my veins. It's kind of like the reaction that you would think your body would go through if you had recently had a confrontation with someone and you couldn't calm down. But my body does that a lot without me even understanding why. So being aware and focused of my breathing is one thing that's helping me. If you struggle with that, I hope maybe me pointing that out can help you in some regards. Um, Another of the ways that I have coped is by listening to a lot of music that inspires me or makes me feel driven, motivated, and it's just a little bit soothing to the soul. So I like a mixture of different types of music. Um, you know, sometimes when I'm active, I really like to listen to Christian rap music as I'm moving. And there's one song that I listen to every morning. It's called Built from Broken. It's by Georgia Phantom. And if you like that type of thing, check it out. Um, Also, another thing that I have used a lot and always do is humor. Humor is big. When nothing else worked for me out there while I was struggling to survive, humor always worked. in the end. I've tried a lot of things like being angry. I've been dressed in 3 coats and wrapped in a tablecloth, screaming at traffic about the latest trends in fashion, and it didn't do me much good, but it did give me a funny story to tell afterwards. So there is that. And if you'll notice, sometimes the worst things that have happened to us in life make some of the funniest stories for some odd reason. And I find humor in the conversations that I have with friends. There was a humorous moment the other morning where I was trying to tell a story about getting a tattoo on my lower stomach. And I had a slip of the tongue. I was trying to say that the guy that was doing my tattoo was coming down because he was on drugs, and I didn't even know what that meant back then. But instead, I slipped and said he was going down. And I had that moment like where I realized what came out of my mouth, and I was like, oh shit. So there's things like that, that I try to make note of, and I actually try to write things down. Funny coworker moments, like there. Recently, I had, there's a caseworker that is working for Seven Hills that I've known for a long time, that I've given a lot of grief over the years, and I'd like to apologize for, but I think he forgives me. And he got burnt out on the day center. So he works over at the night shelter side, and it's a lot more peaceful. And recently we were short on help, so he had to come in and fill in for somebody at the day center. And I was giving him a little bit of grief. So I looked at him and I said, hey, listen, I said, don't worry, we'll school you. And I was talking with another homeless person, and I said, hey, I said, we can teach him a few things, can't we? And so I said to my coworker, I said, you need to come out to the woods for a couple nights. And he says, would I survive? And I say, well, yeah, but you might wish you hadn't. And then I said, I take that back. It depends on the weather, and it depends on who's high. And his reply was, am I high? I had no idea he was so funny. So I try to look for the humorous things to stand out in my day, especially whenever I'm really stressing. So that was another method that worked for me. Maybe it can work for you. If you haven't tried it, give it a try, because I look at people who don't find humor in things, and I wonder how hard it truly is on them. I mean, some people are serious and they just don't want to give it a try, but I highly recommend it, because there was a point in my life where I did not find anything funny, probably until about the age of 28. And only then did I begin to relax, and that was with the use of marijuana. I'm going to be honest. But in that crutch, I did find myself able to relax enough to be able to start developing a sense of humor. Anyhow, so moving on, other things that have coped for me or helped me cope are to have been taking care of my appearance, and like just taking the time to try to do my hair and pick out a nice outfit. Any more than that for me kind of becomes stressful right now, as busy as I am. But I highly look forward to the day where I can just relax and maybe do full makeup and get myself dressed up real pretty for a special occasion. But for now, my focus is coping and making these videos, and making these videos is more important to me than my physical appearance. So some of the lows of my week are that I have been seeing a lot of changes in my environment, and I get scared by change because it can go good, but it also can go bad. And that makes me apprehensive. So that may be where a little bit of my anxiety is coming from. I'm not really sure what the main source is, but I suspect it's like the worries of the future. But what's going on currently around me is also stressing me out, even though a lot of it could be for the better. There's new rules in place, and things are changing. We're fixing to move locations, or it will be in sometime in the near future at the day center. And there's a lot to look forward to, but I'm still scared. And they've shut down a place that's fairly popular for us to have gatherings for the homeless community, such as Walker Park. It's shut down temporarily for construction, but I've been told that that could last up to a year, and I'm not certain how that's going to affect everyone because I know that I love those get togethers. They're done by the churches and they're on the weekend, and there are clothing giveaways, but it's so, and people can take showers sometimes in mobile showers and get haircuts, but it's so much more than that. Like, it's just really a very healthy way for everyone that I love and know to get together and not have some of the drama that's going on in our personal lives. And like, even at the shelter, sometimes people don't always get along, but that is a place where everyone smiles and listens to gospel music, and it's just a very peaceful atmosphere and things that something that I look forward to on the weekends. So that's a big change. I actually cried whenever I found out and needed a moment to take a break from work. Um, Another one of my lows was that I went to outpatient therapy, and I was already experiencing a pretty big anxiety attack and trying to calm myself from it. And I was looking forward to my group session um, so that I could maybe ease my anxiety and come out with a sense of peace. And that did not happen, unfortunately, yesterday. Thursday, the first session went amazing. And I really enjoyed that. And I'm assuming that most of the times it will not be like that in my outpatient therapy. But yesterday I had a hard time after that calming down. Ways that I have been keeping myself from worrying about the future is to just try to briefly make a list of what could potentially be coming up and trying to remember the steps that I need to take step by step on the days when I need to focus on it, but try to push it to the back of my mind so I can enjoy myself in the meantime. And I've also recently visited a few friends that I hadn't seen for a while. And one of those visits went well. The other one, I stumbled onto a secret that I was not aware of in regards to a friend. And I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail because I respect that person's need for privacy. But and I'm not even mentioning any names, but that secret made me feel like I need to be there for that friend a little bit more. And I'm a little bit worried about how it will affect me if it goes badly, even whenever I'm trying to help. But I'm more concerned about the friend. So I think I'm going to try. So that's just a brief overview of what I've gone through in the last week, my intentions in creating this channel, and how I'm using this channel to try to bring more awareness and maybe provide some insights. And I hope you liked my video, and I hope I wasn't too all over the place. So I hope you enjoy your Saturday, and I'll be sure to be posting more today and tomorrow.